In this video, I'm going to show you over $2,000 worth of items that I sold on eBay in just this past week. Items that I picked up exclusively from thrift stores and garage sales. That may have sounded a little bit like I was bragging, but truthfully, I'm not. I honestly feel like videos like these are a really good way for you to learn stuff that you should be on the lookout for when you're out hitting up those thrift stores and garage sales for yourself. So I hope you enjoy it. This is a TaylorMade M6 4 hybrid, and any of these TaylorMade M series hybrids or woods can go for some really good money. I paid $5 for this one at a garage sale, and it sold for $95 on eBay. So this guy, this is a cartridge. It's actually what holds the needle on a record player or turntable. You can see the little needle down there at the bottom. But I actually got this basically for free. I bought a turntable from a garage sale. I believe I paid $40 for it. Sold the turntable for like $150, and this was in the bottom of the box along with a bunch of papers and trash. I got lucky to find this, and I actually got lucky to even look it up on eBay. Decided to, saw it had some value. Took a while to sell, but it sold for $84 in like 3 or 4 months. Not too bad for free. I just gotta find a huge box to ship this monstrosity. So I really love this sale because taking a chance on this one really paid off. Paid $5.75 for this Tupac jacket. It's got Tupac on the front, and it's made to look like the above the rim movie jerseys from back in like 1993. It's got the tournament shootout logo on the back. Saw this at Goodwill. Everything's embroidered on the front or stitched lettering, stitched logo on the back. Real nice quality. But it's made by this company, Headgear Classics. They make reproduction jerseys and jackets and different things. And usually the stuff isn't that valuable. I actually tried to look this one up. Couldn't find it on eBay anywhere. Sold, listed. None on Terapeak. Nowhere. So I Googled it. Saw where somebody was selling them on a website for $125. But they were sold out. So I listed mine on eBay for $125. It sold in 2 days. I couldn't believe it. Paid $5.75 for it at Goodwill.
What was that?
Got lucky on this one. This is a Pentax K1000 35mm camera. Got the extra lens here. The extra lens is actually not worth a whole lot, maybe 20 to 30 bucks. But I was leaving a garage sale. I went to pay the lady, and she had this sitting on a table beside her, like under a jacket. I saw it kind of sticking out, went to look at it. She only wanted $10 for it. So I grabbed it, and it sold in 2 days on eBay for $135. Sold a set of Callaway Big Bertha irons, and they're actually from 2004. So what's that, 18 years? And they still bring a decent price. These are left-handed, so they bring a little bit more, but I paid $24 for them from Goodwill, and they sold for $200 in less than a week. So this might be my favorite sale this week, and it's my favorite because I picked it up from a garage sale at 11:45 in the morning after it'd been out there since 8 a.m. The guy had $20 on it, which I probably would have paid, but when he saw me looking at it, he just said, "Hey, I'm ready to get rid of this thing, take it for $5." So when I saw this Eagle Creek, I did. I've sold this Eagle Creek stuff before. It can go for some really good money. Paid $5 for this guy, and it sold for $160 plus $30 shipping in a couple of weeks. Be on the lookout for Eagle Creek. It can sell really well. Alright, sale of the week here, and I almost didn't get it. I saw this Epson Perfection V55 photo scanner sitting on the floor at Salvation Army, and I noticed this, so I kind of assumed it had been opened. But once I looked a little closer, you can tell that it hasn't. Still got the plastic on it, still got the blue tape down in there, still got the CD sitting right there, so I could tell that it was new. Even the tape on the top, you can see it's been there for quite some time. They wanted $50 for it, but I decided to scan it with the eBay app. I could tell immediately that it was going to be worth it. There were like 3 in new condition that were listed, 12 had sold, good sell-through rate, and I brought it home, listed it, and it sold in 2 days for $375. Even in not new condition, these things can actually sell for like $125, $150, so be on the lookout for these Epson scanners. This is a Porter Cable Random Orbital Polisher. I actually paid $10 for it at the Salvation Army. I thought that was a little much when I first saw it, but decided to look it up anyway. And it had a decent profit and it had a really good sell-through rate. So I was able to test it at the thrift store, so I felt pretty confident in paying that $10. Well, I brought it home, listed it, and it sold in 2 days for 70 bucks on eBay. So I picked this guy up at Goodwill. It's an AverMedia DVD Easy Maker 7. Everything's complete. Software's in there. It got the little piece. It basically converts VHS 8mm and high 8 to DVD with ease. I paid $4 for it from Goodwill, and it sold for $47.50 in a couple of weeks. I've always had really good luck with these Cobra BioCell drivers. They're definitely something you should be on the lookout for. They tend to sell pretty quick. Paid $15 for this one at a garage sale, so it kind of paid up a little bit, but it sold for $85 in less than a week. Saw this at a garage sale, and I just kind of had to have it. It's the Monster Book of Monsters from Harry Potter. It's a plush, almost like a pillow. It's got the teeth and everything on there, a tongue, got little eyes down in here. Definitely creepy, couldn't pass it up. Paid $2 for it from that garage sale, and it sold in about a week for $30. So this is one of those things that I bought at a garage sale just because it was cheap and it was interesting. This is an Averix flight jacket, and it's from 1987. I just thought it was really neat how it's got this Army Air Forces Certificate of Appreciation for War Service, presented to Averix, copyright 1987, so it's definitely vintage. I just thought it was a really neat jacket. For $1, I couldn't turn it down. It took a couple months to sell, but it sold for $53 on eBay. I'm always on the lookout for snap-on tools. I don't find it a whole lot, but when I do, that stuff sells really quick. I also run across the gear every now and then, and that stuff sells well too. This is a snap-on tools like work polo shirt. Paid $4.75 for it from Goodwill, and it sold for $29 on eBay in a couple of weeks. So this is kind of a lesser known golf brand. It's Exotics by Tour Edge, but it seems to be becoming more and more popular, and there's definitely some value there. I paid $5 for this 5 hybrid from a garage sale, and it sold for $65. So I picked this guy up from a garage sale for no other reasons than it was only $1, and it was new and sealed in the box. It's an LG Ultra Slim portable DVD writer. Figured it had to have some kind of value. Well, not a whole lot. It actually sold on eBay for $24.94 in a couple of weeks. Our Goodwills only charge $1.50 for a t-shirt, so if I see a cool one, I'll go ahead and pick it up. It doesn't take me long to list. They don't take up much room. They do take a while to sell sometimes though. I've had this one for a couple of months. But I paid $1.50 for this vintage Oakley t-shirt, and it sold for $24.50 in a couple of months. I almost walked right by these at the thrift store. The only reason I even paid any attention to these were they were sitting on a shelf like this, and I happened to see that Foot logo on the inside. Sure enough, they were Birkenstocks, and apparently the thrift store missed them too, or they would have marked them up. They were only $3. So I brought them home, listed them, and they sold within a day for $54. I may have sold them too cheap, but the only comps I could find were a pair in Italy that sold for $100 brand new, so I couldn't really tell, but either way, pretty good pickup. Anytime I see one of these hats with this bar logo, that's what this is called, bar logo, made by a company called The Game. You can see their logo on the back here. I always pick these things up. This is a Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, adjustable strap, Game, bar logo hat. I believe that's the keywords I used. And I paid $1 for it at Goodwill, and it sold for $22.50 in about a week. I see a lot of people selling Vans, but honestly, I never have much luck with them. They seem to take forever to sell for me, or at least the basic ones do. But I saw these at a garage sale. They had actually a few pair and only wanted $1 a pair, so I figured I'd pick them up because they were really clean and I really didn't have to do any work to them. Listed them for $30, and after like 6 months, I finally got an offer for $25 and decided to take it. When I saw these at a garage sale, I actually thought they were Danskos, but they were rubbery feeling, and once I looked inside, I could tell that they were Crocs. They're Crocs dual comfort clogs or nursing shoes. Paid $3 for them at that garage sale, and they sold for $33 in a couple of months. Sold a telephone, and I'm not going to pull it out because it's all nice and neat in here, but it's a CapTel telephone. It basically captions what the other person is saying. It's for someone that's hard of hearing. Lets you read what they're telling you. Paid $15 for it at a thrift store, so I kind of paid up a little bit, but it had a really good sell-through rate. I knew it would sell quick. Sure enough, it sold in 2 days for $73. So I kind of have a problem. If I see super clean shoes at a garage sale for really cheap, I just feel like I have to pick them up, even if I know they're going to take a while to sell. That's kind of what happened here. This is a pair of New Balance 997 ladies running shoes. Paid $3 for them from a garage sale, but I didn't have to do any work. Didn't have to clean them at all. Listed them, and they took 6 months to sell. They sold for $30. Got a Carhartt jacket going out, and every time one of these things sells, I'm absolutely amazed. Let me show you why. This thing is full of holes. I mean, check that out. Goes all the way through. Same thing on the sleeve here, even down here, and they always sell distressed like this. That's the keyword you want to use, distressed. My mom and stepdad actually picked this up from a garage sale. I believe they paid $5 for it, and it sold for $55 on eBay. These things always sell, and like I said, it always amazes me. So shout out Mom and Danny for picking this up. A really old set going out here. This is a set of Wilson Staff Tour Blade irons. It's a deep set, 2-through sand wedge. Paid about $30 for these from a garage sale. They ran a bundle with some other clubs, and they sold in about 2 weeks for $100 on eBay. Sold Zelda. This is a Zelda amiibo from Breath of the Wild, and honestly, I don't know much about these at all, but I picked it up at a Amazon bin store where everything's $6. Decided to scan it with my eBay app, and sure enough, it was bringing some decent money. Comps were kind of all over the place, but I listed mine for $39.50, and it sold within a day. So I picked up a big plastic tote of ephemera, basically old paperwork from a garage sale like 2 years ago. Paid $20 for it, and I've definitely made hundreds off of it so far, but I've still got a bunch of listings up that I consider stale. I keep saying I'm going to take them down, and then something else sells. Like these detachable snapshots from SeaWorld from 1974. I've got maybe pennies into this, and it sold for $15. This guy found a new home. This is a puppet. It's made by a company called Folk Madness, and they're a pretty good brand to be on the lookout for. I just learned about them myself. Picked up a bunch of plush at Goodwill. They're only 50 cents a piece, so I figured I'd take a chance. Worst case, I'd learn something. Well, they ended up not being very valuable, but I decided to list this guy separately, and he sold for $13. Definitely be on the lookout for Folk Madness. There's some of their stuff that can go for some really good money. Usually when I see these vintage military combat boots, I'll pick them up if they're cheap enough. Paid $8.50 for these Built Right Panco military combat boots, and they're not in great condition. Definitely got some scuffs up here, some scuffs on the toes, some wear on the bottom. But I paid $8.50 for them from Goodwill, and they sold in a couple of weeks for $60 on eBay.